Today we're playing the Alien Gambit against the 5 alien bots, starting from 300 elo all the way up to 1875, which is Human Danny. The fight was pretty interesting. So the idea with this opening is we're sacrificing the knight on f7. The king will take, we'll develop our knight out to f3. Then we'll try to do a quick attack against the king with our bishop, and our queen can come out if this knight moves. We have this check on e5 that we can look for. So try to get a quick attack, a quick checkmate, see if we can take down these spots. Here we go. Knight takes f7, and they don't even recapture the knight. I actually had a suspicion that the 325 rated bot wouldn't capture the knight, but now we can just take the queen. So this first game is already going to be a wash. Okay, we defend our knight, we attack their knight. And, oh, why do I have the eval bar on? How do I guess it's because I set it up from a custom position. So let me disable that. My apologies. Okay, maybe what I'll do is I'll play check, and then we'll move our queen to e8 here. And now we can win the rook, we can promote, and we should be winning. Black's going to get our rook, but that's not a problem. Okay, and now you guys get to watch my horrible checkmating technique. I gotta work on this. And checkmate with the rook, with the bishop. Okay, so rookie, really no resistance. Let's hope the next bot gives us some more resistance. So the next bot is Chessbacca. Sorry, Chewbacca. I watch Star Wars. I'm hip with the kids. Okay, and this time they do accept. So let's play knight f3. All right, now queen d5, definitely not one of the main moves. So we got to think on our feet here. I think we actually have... I have seen this. This is one of the main moves. Or not one of the main moves, but one of the main blunders. So we can sacrifice our bishop and then fork the king and queen. So now the game should be quite simple. We're just getting the rest of our pieces in and moving in to attack the king. Black is running out of pieces. Now we can capture this rook with check, and no reason to give away our bishop. Okay. And black has no pieces left. So we should have checkmate here soon enough. Again, my horrible checkmating technique. I'm working on it. I'll get there. Okay. So there's Chessbacca. Okay, now we actually have a 1000 rated bot. So Gambita is rated 1050. We'll see if we crush her as well. Okay, so they do accept. Knight f3. And this is actually one of the moves I was looking at. So this is a good defensive resource covering up the dark square weaknesses. Let's try to play normal Alien Gambit moves. So we want to put our bishop on this diagonal, and we want to castle and bring our rook to the center. Maybe I'll go for this check. And we also open our queen up if this knight ever moves. Okay, let's castle. And maybe we'll look to play f4. Okay, so if we play f5, queen takes d4, and we have to move our king. Pawn takes, bishop takes. I'm not so convinced. I don't think we should leave this d pawn undefended. Now I wonder if this is a safe square for my bishop or not. Let's try to be aggressive. Okay, so now we have to be careful about removing the defender. So if they take my knight, then they can take my bishop on the next move. If we can hold on to this bishop, I would like to. So let's try rook e1. We can take here, attack the queen. And actually gives up the queen for the bishop. So I didn't want the bishop that badly. So that's a good result. And somehow Gambita is up 1 point of material. I guess because we lost the bishop and the rook for the queen, but we gave away that knight at the start from the just from the gambit itself. So we're not up material, but I like our position still. We need to make use of all our pieces. And we need to try to get at black's king. I could play here, but then I think black just blocks with the bishop, and we have nothing from there. So I'm going to try f4. And what the idea is that we're developing another piece. And actually, by playing f4, I have given up this outpost for black. Let's put our queen on the open file. I think I would like the f file open, but I can do that by taking either way. Maybe I'll take this way so that we have a connected passed pawn. And yes, white Black puts their knight on the nice outpost. Now, I was looking at h3, and if the bishop moves back, this should be a trapped bishop now. I just want to double check Black doesn't have any tactics. So very nice. Now we should be up material. The only concern is this knight on the outpost. So what I might try to do is dislodge it by playing b3 and then c4. We do need to get our other pieces into the game, but I don't see a good square for my bishop right now. So yeah, and also by playing b3, I unlock a couple new squares for my bishop to go to. And now Black can't take because we take the knight. And now I can take this pawn, and if Rook takes, we actually would have forked the Rook on the next move. Okay, that's a clean bishop, but let's take with check first, and then we can still take the bishop on the next move. Okay, now let's develop our bishop with tempo. We'll defend our bishop with our queen, and then we can get our Rook into the game. And now, ooh, there must be a checkmate. I think just Rook here is checkmate. No, because the Rook defense. Be careful, be careful. What if I cut off? Oh no, wait. Yeah, here, if the Rook takes, we have checkmate. And if the Rook doesn't take, then we can bring our bishop in this way. So let's play d6. And Rook takes. That hangs the Rook two different ways. We'll take with the bishop so that we can still threaten checkmate here. Let's be a little patient. So now we should have mate in the next couple moves. This just cuts off an escape route for the king. Okay, obviously that's a free Rook. And there's no stalemate that we have to worry about because Black can always move a pawn. Again, with my stellar checkmating technique, I believe we have a mate in 2 here. Okay, so that was Gambita. Definitely a little more resistance. Okay, next up is the green spawn. So this is 1375 rated. So by playing the Alien Gambit, we do give Black like a 1.5 advantage like we saw at the start of the video. Now it's getting a little risky. Okay, let's develop our knight like normal. E6 is one of the main moves. We're going to move our bishop to this diagonal. Looks like Black may be setting up some sort of attack on the h2 square, but I believe we're good to castle and put our Rook in the center as usual. And I believe there's some lines where I can play here. Now, I don't know about the queen being here now. So if we were to play knight e5, the knight would take. We could take back with the pawn, but then bishop takes, and the bishop is still defended by the queen. I could play this, or I could try this pawn sacrifice. I wonder, we're going to deflect one of the defenders of e5. So let's just say queen takes, for example. Check, take, take. Now if bishop takes, we take the bishop. So check, take, take. The knight's going to move somewhere, and then we have this check. If instead the bishop takes, I wonder, do we have the same idea? So let's say we play b4, bishop takes, knight e5, knight takes e5, d takes e5. Now the queen can't take because it's defended by the Rook again. So the knight's going to have to move somewhere. And then we do have this check because the pawn should be interfering with the queen's view of this square. So let's try this pawn sacrifice b4. And we get queen d5. Now instantly my instinct is I want to play c4. But, so if we were to play c4, the only safe square left is here. The queen would be looking at h2, and I worry that this knight can make an appearance as well. The other thing to keep in mind is this pawn has the same idea as before. If this pawn gets taken by the bishop, now we again would have knight e5 check. When we play c4 and the queen moves to h5, now our queens can kind of see each other through this knight. So when we try to play knight e5 check, I wonder if there's a tactic here. I think I will play c4 regardless. We have to be careful of this checkmate threat. I could just lose the game on the spot here if I'm not careful. So check, take, and I was thinking of taking back with the pawn, but if I take the queen, it's check. So I can take with check, the knight's going to have to take, and then I can take back with the pawn. And I don't know if I want to trade queens is the thing. My plan, perhaps foolishly, will be to play d5. So I'm going to move my bishop. It's not really doing anything on this diagonal. the idea is I want to play d5, and if my bishop's on b2, it sees this knight, which is the defense of the queen. So it might be setting up some kind of remove the defender tactic. Okay, maybe I will try bishop b2. So check, take, queen takes, knight takes, pawn takes, knight takes, and our bishop and our rook are still attacking. I think this is good. Check. Ah, so now when we go here, you can't take this way. But this is a fork, and even if he takes my queen, we can take back with our rook. The A rook now, because we've cleared the back row. So I think we're winning a piece here. If I just take back with the pawn. Is there any intermediate move I can do to save the exchange here? I don't think so. I think we just have to take the knight and then give up the exchange. So what's the material count? We have, we're down an exchange. So we went from down a piece to down an exchange, and a pawn, The rook is going to come to the second row. So maybe I will play rook e3 to defend this bishop, to prevent black's rook from coming to the second row. Maybe I'll play king f2, get my king into the game. Okay, c5 means our bishop can't get over here anymore, but I don't think that's a concern. This is a weak pawn. I wonder if we could play bishop a3, attack this pawn. We'd probably see b6. Any way to attack that backwards pawn, I don't see it. Okay, I imagine the way that we create a passed pawn is we have our pawns like this. And then if takes, and we have a passed pawn. We would give black a passed pawn of their own, but I think the flanked passed pawn is better than the middle passed pawn. If I were to play here and then push, and then here takes, then these are connected passed pawns, which are bad. Although I guess we would have a set of our own. Very imbalanced game. Let's try it. Okay, and I thought here we're just winning a pawn, right? I don't see any tricks for black. Yeah, just have to be careful that our rook is the only thing defending our bishop right now. So I do believe we're safe to take here, defended by our bishop. What I'm going to do, I'm going to play king e2, add an extra defender. Ah! Ridiculous. Blundered the pawn. It happens. I guess we have to go king back to f2. This pawn is defended by our rook. So maybe I'll play h3 and then play king e2. And now if we play king e2, they skewer and win our bishop. Wow. What a bind. Yeah, I can't even really threaten this pawn because then we lose our only advantage in the position. If I played this and then take, then the rook would skewer our bishops. And then we would have this check. And that might be okay. This bishop isn't really doing anything at the moment. Maybe that's our best option. Bishop e4. We're hanging on by a thread here. All right, let's try it. Bishop e4. And let's go for it. Attacking it this way. So check, check, rook takes, king takes, and we lose that passed pawn. So we don't want to do that. So we need to bring our bishop back. This is probably our best bet. We prevent this push, and we also give an outpost. All right. Now that looks like it hangs a skewer here. So here, I think it is a skewer. We'd be giving up this passed pawn. Do we really want to do that, actually? This passed pawn's our only hope. I could play check first. That would force the king off, and then we can do the skewer. And then we don't lose this passed pawn. Okay, here. No checks. I think we have to take. Okay, and they just take back. This pawn's hanging, so let's make sure it's not hanging. The other option is we could trade off. But the thing is, this pawn is currently blockaded because of the bishop and the king. I wonder about here takes here. And if black decides to check, then we just we push our king up the board. And I'm happy to push my king up the board. Let's try this. And If we take this pawn, black takes this pawn. Is that winning? Okay, we might be headed towards a draw, which I'd rather take a draw than lose. Okay, and now that black hasn't taken this pawn, I imagine we have a win. Yeah, I guess we could go here, right? And then we have two passed pawns. Or up a pawn. And our pawns are way better than black's. I guess we could go here. No. Yeah. And then if takes, we defend the pawn. Take. Okay. And I'm going to go this way, just so we can get around the pawn past the rook. And check. This is not checkmate. Just gotta be very careful. Is there a forced mate? So like here. No, we have this pawn. Okay, now we should be winning. I'm very curious, like, oh, actually here, that would be checkmate. I'm very curious about the, like, was this drawn or winning or what for the end game? Very curious. Okay, let's connect our pawns. Now black should be cooked. And, ooh, I guess we can go around. How do we win this? I'll move my rook to this rank so we can push this pawn. I might have beamed it. Check, winning this pawn. The king's going to take your next move regardless, though, so I think I'd rather have my king up. Let's keep going. We want to have our king on the red carpet. Here. Okay, check, right? And then it's a forced win from here. Black doesn't even take the rook. Let's just do the rook and king checkmate. Okay. Wow, that was a difficult game. I'm very curious about the end game. All right, this pawn sacrifice was not good. Bishop takes b4. Now I thought I had knight e5 check. Knight takes e5. Pawn takes e5. Ah, because my rook's hanging. Got it. It was wrong to take the exchange. Instead, I should have played f takes g7, the intermezzo. Attack the rook. Darn. I had a chance there. Okay, now how was our endgame technique? We were dead lost. This was a blunder. We went from equal to losing. Every move is a mistake. Bishop e4, mistake. h4 was best, but then I thought bishop g3, and then I guess, wait, what's the idea? Okay, I understand. So the bishop, the only reason it could take this pawn is because it's check. Otherwise, we would have had rook e7, terrorizing black's king. But instead, it's check. So I was worried about that move later in the game. So here, I was looking at h4, but I just thought, oh, okay, then we give this square back to the bishop. But that doesn't mean anything because we have rook e7 check. This was a mistake. Every move's a mistake. Okay, and before taking the rook, I should have played rook g3 check, or plus 10. All right, terrible endgame technique by both players. Ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not booked up on rook endgames. I gotta study up a little more. Okay, now we take on the last bot. I kind of doubt I'm gonna survive it, but we're gonna try our best. So we're playing Human Danny, who's rated 1875. I don't know if I stand a chance here. We'll play our best. e6, bishop d3. Okay, bishop d6. I think I was looking at the game review for the last game, and queen e3, queen e2 was the best move. I'm not saying I understand why, but that's what it was saying. I think let's play it. Now, do we want to trade this knight for this bishop? Yeah, if he takes, then the knight's gonna have to move, and then our queen gets in. I think that would have been quite losing for black already. All right, now I learned from last time. I'm not going to play here because, I mean, instantly black would just win a piece if I do that. Although I guess not quite, but same idea. Does this idea work? h4. If we have a pawn on h4, then this becomes a bit of an issue for black, I think. Let's try h4. Okay, the knight abandons the king. So what if we play here? Uh-oh. I'm a little scared because when you feel like you're winning against the bots, they like instantly not good. So I imagine knight f4 is the threat. I don't see a good move for black after queen e4, so here's where human Danny's gonna cook me. And now we take with check. The queen blocks. I'm gonna go for h takes g5. And now I have to take here, and then we're gonna win this pawn. And the knight's attacking here. Maybe f4. We can't let human Danny trade. Okay, threatening the fork in this pawn. So that's play king here, it's check. And they're taking the bishop. Likewise here. So maybe I just have to move my rook here to save the c2 pawn. Or save the exchange, I guess. Oh. And then they're going to take this bishop anyway. Everything's hanging. We're actually almost getting mated with the knights. g4. The knight takes here. Check. I guess if we go check, at least we get a passed pawn. But then black can liberate this bishop. This might be our best option. Oh, they didn't even take. Huh. Yeah, I mean, I guess these knights are better than the bishop. g4 now? Can we play it? Now it takes... Now we have this, like, little pawn structure going on. So, knight goes here. I think I should play here first to prevent that. There. Black's attacking both pawns. And I'd rather hold on to this pawn than this pawn. So, let's play g5. Threatening here and taking this pawn. Also threatening to trade off more material. So I could play like bishop here. I imagine that walks into this move though. I think this might be our best bet, unfortunately. Oh no, it doesn't work. Darn. Yeah, I was gonna go here, here, take, and then here to prevent the knight from going here and attacking our pawn. But if we play here, then this is a fork. Okay, maybe we just have to play here then. And I can't even attack the knight because then the king takes here. Pin the bishop to the rook and then try to make a play with this pawn. Let's try it. Okay, if we put our king on a light square, then black wins our rook. Let's play rook g8 check. We're defending this pawn. I thought this was the move black had to play. Now we can go rook g7 check. And I thought here, we can't push because then king takes. So then I thought maybe we could push here. And then the bishop would move. And then we could play here, attacking the rook. And then the rook, if the rook takes, we queen. If the king takes, we take the rook. For the humans! Oh. So if I play here now, then king takes, and it was all for nothing. Like g6, maybe bishop here. Then we play here with the same idea as before. We gotta try it. Alright, so now if we play here, does that work? But I think rook g8's our move. And, promote to a knight. It's check. I think that's it then. Okay, I'm really hoping there's a stalemate. Ooh, and then queen here. There's no stalemate. Good game. Okay, I feel a little better. I never had a chance. It was, oh my gosh. I gotta show you guys the, I'll show on screen the roadmap of the game. It's pretty ridiculous. So instead of just taking back the bishop automatically like I did, I could have played this nice move here. And if black tries to save the bishop, we actually just end up promoting. So like, for example, take, check. Now if here it's mate, and then same idea here. I imagine we have mate soon enough. And then the like example is here, and then promotion can't be stopped. Here we get a skewer. So I guess here, and queen g6. Okay, and so all our pieces are getting in black, and black is cooked. Here I had to play queen e4. I don't know why I didn't consider this. I was only considering this or this. So that's my bad. So I did have a chance. I was up +2 or +1 at least. And even here, it's still drawn. Okay, played a few great moves in a row here. Rook G7 was a mistake. So I did have a winning line if I played Bishop C4 check. I didn't even see that this was a check, man. What the heck? And yeah, Bishop can't block because then we take the Rook. So if the Knight blocks, then it says Rook G7 check. Oh yeah, the Knight's pinned. Alright, so this was completely winning for me if I had found... I think if I had found Bishop C4, it would have been a different game. Darn. Okay, I'm giving myself one last chance to beat Human Danny. But this time, Human Danny is playing the Alien Gambit against me. So I'm going to try to survive. I'm giving myself one last try here. When I was looking at the theory before this video, the idea is basically we want to put our king on G8, bishop on F7, and just hunker down. Yeah, this looks weird because we're blocking our E pawn, but now we have our bishop to defend on the light squares a little better. Now our knight can't go here, so I think we just have to develop our knight out this way. Let's develop our pieces. So we're going to play king G8. I know this is super slow, but remember, we're up a piece. So as long as I can be safe, we'll be okay. And now I will move my bishop back to F7. And I'm just playing these moves probably quicker than I should, but I'm just trying to play like quiet, easy moves. Okay, now I want to look for E5 or something of the sort. E5, take. Just lost a piece, so we need another defender. Maybe I will play queen C7. Also, by playing queen C7, we allow our other rook to get in. So now here, take. And then I imagine there's like some kind of revealed attack on our queen. So I don't want to worry about that. Let's play rook E8. Maybe I should play E6 first to get our bishop in. Although then we cut this bishop off. But if we put our bishop here, then we can play E5. So we're playing super slow. But yeah, okay. B4's coming. I say we just let them have the space and we build for this E5 move. Ooh, okay, but now this is backwards and I could try to put a knight on this square. Maybe I go here, trade it off instead of making such a passive bishop. Just have to make sure our queen doesn't get trapped. Here, take here. I guess we can always just come back here. Let's do it. Now the question is, how is this rook ever getting into the game? It's one thing I didn't analyze too closely. Okay, let's play G6. Takes, queen takes. Just gonna go queen C7. Yeah, I think we take. Play knight D5. We have our knight on a nice outpost, but white has all this space. It's gonna play F4 next. Let's connect our rooks. Okay, H4. Can we allow H5 and G5? I really don't want to play H5 because then that gives this square. I guess sort of the obvious moves right now are just to move our rook to the open files or semi-open files. So if we move this rook away and we see H5, we play G5, then we get queen E4, threatening this infiltration. I guess we could block it with our rook. Wait, no, because this bishop's in the way. I can also consider sacrificing the exchange, like sacrificing this rook for this bishop to get rid of the light square weaknesses on our king. And actually, if we sacrifice the rook for the light square bishop, then this light squared bishop should be good against white's king. Now, how are we getting that bishop to attack white's king? I don't know. But, all right, I'm sort of at a loss here. All right. G5, I think taking is suicide. So let's go for it. We might see F4 though. This is getting really, really sketchy. All right, I want to sack this rook for this bishop. Maybe I go like this. Now, would this knight for this bishop be better? So like, for example, here takes, then takes. I guess then queen takes. That's looking suspicious. I'm gonna give up this rook for the bishop. For better or worse, guys. And now we put our rook on the open file. Actually, this pawn's hanging. Do I take it? Is there an infiltration square? Like queen here looks Not great. Let's just move our knight back to d5. That's a nice square. Okay, now that actually gives up this square for our knight. So let's play rook d8 and now we can't play here because then we're losing a rook, unfortunately. Why don't we bring our bishop here? Oh, I was just looking too. I was about to say, like, white has no infiltration squares. Ah, man. Okay, well, we have two moves. Both of them hang this pawn with check. Now, if I play here, check, then I guess we can block it with our bishop, and then we lose this pawn. But if we go here, check, I guess we could block with our queen, and then we're not losing this pawn. Although white still has this h pawn. Okay, let's go here. I don't think we can afford to lose both pawns. And at least our king can block 8 here. Oh, wait, what? Because our rook's pinned. Okay, but I guess we could take this pawn after. And we're attacking this pawn too. But then the rook checks here. I don't know. I like my knight here. This knight might even be worth more than a rook. And our king is like totally locked in by all of white's pawns. Ridiculous. All right, let's make our bishop active. That was the whole point of playing the stupid bishop g8 that let white's queen in. Ridiculous. Our bishop can't even go anywhere, bro. What is this? I'm so mad. All right, let's play rook f8. Now maybe here, trading off one of the rooks. With so many pawns on the board, the rook is gonna struggle with no open file. We're also threatening to take this pawn, so I think this will work out for us. Then we go back here. All right, and now we can move our bishop, everybody. Holy smokes. I guess maybe, but the thing, I don't want to open any of the files because then this rook becomes powerful. And like if we go here and the rook goes here, I guess we could go here. I don't know. White's just gonna walk and I don't think there's anything I can do. This is ridiculous. And like my king is stuck. I can't move my king anywhere. Because white's pawns cover everything. So I might have to like do one of these, but then this pawn, and if I move my king, the other thing is if I move my king over, this pawn's going. Let's make a waiting move. This is what I was hoping for. Now our bishop has something to do here. Now if I move my bishop off of this diagonal, this pawn, we have to worry about. I think we're still fine though. My idea is like I want to go here and support one of these pawns pushing. And we also prevent black's pawns from moving. Okay, let's try. It's our only hope. We keep an eye out. I don't know if Human Danny is going to blunder a check, but we should keep an eye out. I wonder if what if we play for a draw? Okay. Am I a coward for playing for a draw? I just don't see a way. I feel like I'd be lucky to end up with the draw here. I'm going to do it. Draw. All right. No, we didn't win. But we fought well. Yeah, good game. Okay, we survived. No, I didn't do very well this time, guys. So please forgive me. I hope you still enjoyed this like video on the Alien Gambit. A little bit of a learning experience for me as well. Take care.